mindful of us and attuned to the surroundings, that every action and reaction that they see triggers a response or initiates a learning experience, both of which can be positive or negative. So let's keep this in mind. And lastly, I would like to thank our guest speaker, Ms. Mary Misiena from the Ateneo de Manila University, for gracing our occasion with her presence. Thank you for your time, Ms. Siena. And we hope to learn a lot from this talk. And to everyone, please remember that your Catherinian family is here to provide support and guidance through these trying times. Thank you and happy 28th Foundation Week to all of us. Let us overcome our challenges and fight as one. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
po.
you so much, Ma'am Cathy and Ma'am Arlene, for joining us this morning. I know you're also busy preparing for a lot of activities as part of our founding anniversary. Maraming salamat po. At this point,
Thank you.
hindi na natin patatagalin pa. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Allow me to introduce our guest speaker. Our invited speaker is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Psychology at the National Teachers College, top 1 among psychology majors and top 2 among batch 2010, and Master of Arts in Education, major in Guidance and Counseling at Philippine Normal University, Manila. Currently, she is taking up Doctor of Philosophy in Clinical Psychology at Ateneo de Manila University, where she is also a doctorate scholar. She is a licensed professional teacher and a registered guidance counselor, top 9 in the licensure examination for guidance counselor in 2014. Being in the guidance and counseling profession for 10 years, she dealt with various population with varying needs and concerns. She has been invited as speaker in various topics including bullying, mental health, basic counseling, um, stress management, personality development, gender and development, and qualitative research. Lastly, she is a caring mother to Cutie Adi and a loving wife to June. Katerinians, please help me welcome Miss Merimi Tampu Shena.
Welcome po, ma'am.
Welcome.
Hello, magandang umaga po sa lahat and happy 28th founding anniversary po sa inyong school. So today, pag-uusapan po natin mindfulness for families during the pandemic. So allow me to share my screen first. All right, there. Okay. So muli, magandang umaga po sa lahat ng magulang na nanonood at gayon na rin kung meron pong nanonood na mga students at mga teachers ngayong lunes po at sana you are feeling more energized today, especially this morning para ma-survive natin ito na namang linggo na dadaan. Okay. So I understand that my audience for this morning are parents, and so I would like to request for the following agreements. One is to empty your cup. I understand that as parents, you know your children well. Baka mas matagal kayo sa pagiging magulang definitely, no, kumpara po sa akin na bago pa lang na um, parent. And I know that you are professionals in your own field. And so I would like to request you to empty your cups as you listen to your to this webinar that is to open your mind for learning. Maaaring yung mga sasabihin ko ngayong umaga ay narinig nyo na sa isang webinar or nabasa nyo na sa isang article. But remember that the only way to learn something new is to open our minds for learning. Second is to be generous. No, we are being streamed live via Facebook, and I hope you will maximize the use of the comment box. No, sa ganitong paraan lang po tayo makapag-usap and for me to also feel that you are participating. So be generous in sharing your comments or your responses online. Let's all keep the environment safe. Let us acknowledge that every information may be confidential and that nobody gets to be wrong. We wanted to respect one another as much as possible. I know parents are busy, though it's a Monday morning. I understand that you're busy and you might be attending to some other things, but I hope that you will focus yourself to this session and let us make this session enjoyable. All right. So again, we'll be talking about mindfulness with families during the pandemic. And at the early part of this webinar, we'll be orienting you and grounding you about this new normal, no, itong pandemic na meron tayo at the moment. And also, I will share definitely about the basics of mindfulness, and I'll be facilitating mindfulness activities. But first, let me ask you, how are you feeling today? No, so right now I'm not seeing any comments kasi ginagamit ko yung isang device for flashing, and unfortunately I will not see your responses, but I hope you are um thinking about your answer for this question. So if you will have that one word to describe whatever you're feeling right now, so what it is, what is that word? No, and I hope na you're feeling more positive today, no? Kung ako yung sasagot nitong tanong na to, I'm feeling um ano ba? More energized while at the same time stressed because I know that I have a lot of things to do specifically today. All right. So there. And if you're feeling negatively, no, or konting negative today, I hope that after this webinar, mas gumaan yung pakiramdam, especially after you will practice mindfulness. Okay? So let me particularly ask you, no, if you're feeling stressed. And do not answer this question yes or no yet. Na wag muna nating sagutin ng yes or no, whether you're stressed or not stressed right now. But allow me to help you identify if you're really feeling, no, if you're really feeling stressed. I will be flashing pictures, and what you have to do is to identify kung sa paningin po ninyo gumagalaw or hindi gumagalaw yung mga pictures. Alright? So again, I will be flashing pictures. What you have to identify ay kung sa perception po ninyo gumagalaw or hindi gumagalaw yung mga nasa larawan. Whatever you see may be different from what I can see or from what other people watching this webinar as well can see. So magkakaiba po tayo ng nakikita, no? Depende sa sarili nating perception. Okay, so let me begin with this first picture. All right, so what do you think? Do you think this picture is moving or kind of waving? And also be very particular if it's moving slowly or if it's moving a little bit fast or fast. Okay, so for me, it's moving slowly. Yes, but for me, it's moving. Definitely for me, it's moving. Gumagalaw siya sa paningin ko. Pero hindi masyadong mabilis. Pero medyo mabilis yung dito sa tablet ko compared sa laptop. Alright, so yeah. How about this one? What do you think? Is it kind of turning? Because for me, it's turning. Yes, nagtuturn siya sa akin pero sobrang bagal. Mas mabagal kumpara doon sa, yeah, thank you Sir Dad. So bagal kumpara doon sa first image kanina. But still, for me, this image is moving. Okay. How about this next image? Sa akin, gumagalaw pa rin siya.
Still moving, mame.
Still moving, alright. Thank you, Sir Nad. So, yeah, moving pa rin siya sa akin, pero mabagal pa rin naman. Okay, and this picture, ito medyo nakakaduling daw, no, sabi nung mga participants kapag nagpa-flash ako ng ganitong picture. So kapag sumasakit yung mata ninyo, huwag niyo na masyadong titigan kasi it creates, yes, some sort of optical illusion. Kaya masakit sa mata minsan. But this image for me is still moving. Okay? And this one, last na. Okay, so Sabi po ng mga participants natin, kasama natin dito sa Google Meet na it's still moving. For me, it's not moving anymore. Yes. Hindi siya gumagalaw sa akin. Mamaya malalaman niyo kung ba't masaya ako dahil not moving siya. Okay? So, there, that's the last image. And let me tell you that the following or the previous images I've shown are actually not moving images. Ibig sabihin, they are flat images, they are not animated GIFs, and therefore they are not designed to move. Okay? Hindi po sila talaga gumagalaw. But if you saw that the pictures are moving, then it means that you are experiencing stress. And the slower the pictures move, the better your ability of handling stress. Okay? And so, let us also acknowledge no that moderate levels of stress. So kung nakita ninyong gumagalaw yung mga images, katulad ko no na halos lahat nakita kong gumagalaw yung images. And so it means that we are experiencing stress. And it is typical no for a person, for a human being, for a living person to experience stress. Ibig sabihin typical po sa atin na makaramdam ng stress. All right? And moderate levels of stress are actually helpful for us because it keeps us moving, it keeps us motivated, and it also protects us from danger. Imagine life without stress. Yung sobrang relax mo, walang kahit ano, no? Baka wala ka na rin masyadong nararamdaman, no? Sana posible yon, but that is more of, a negative thing, not experiencing stress at all, rather than experiencing moderate levels of stress. All right? And imagine also if we're not feeling stressed during this period of the pandemic, baka hindi ka nakakaramdam ng stress ngayong period ng pandemic, hindi ka nag-aalala na baka magkasakit ka or magkasakit tayo. So, gaano tayo ka-relax noon at gaano tayo maaaring maging careless. So, wala naman tayong pakialam in the first place. Alright? So, it's better no to experience that moderate level of stress or that level of stress that we can still handle rather than zero stress at all right, and remember that we have positive stress known as eustress and negative stress such as distress, diba? And syempre gusto natin dun sa positive stress kumpara sa negative stress. And so yes, let us acknowledge that stress is something positive as well. If you saw that the pictures are moving a little bit faster, mas mabilis, no? Then it does not automatically mean that you're a criminal, definitely, but it may mean that you are stressed, and that stress is um affecting you, and so you have to practice self-care, mag-relax, kumalma, and mag-practice ng mindfulness later on. All right? So let me ask you this question, no? And this is you as a family, no? Your entire family as a whole. How have your family been coping during this period of the pandemic? So if you will rate your family's coping, one, as surviving, trying to survive talaga, no, na ang hirap pa rin ng pinagdadaanan ng buong pamilya namin during this period of the pandemic. Perhaps we have relatives at the moment na COVID-19 positive, and so the entire family is under strict quarantine, 'di ba? Or five, coping very well because for the longest time during this period of the pandemic, and we've been coping for 8 months now, no, for more than 8 months now. Five would mean we're coping very well, no, sobrang komportable ng family namin, and we are all staying healthy during these trying times, 'di ba? Both physically and mentally. So how will you rate your family's level of coping? If I will answer this question, I'll probably answer 4.8 for my family. I cannot say that it's a perfect score, but it's a high score for me. Okay, because we've been physically and emotionally okay, no, and I think that this is something that our family can be really thankful for, no, during this time of the pandemic. And so I hope that your families are also doing well. Remember that 3 4 is a good number. If you answered 1 or 2, that's okay. Remember that all of us started with 1, 'di ba? But as we go along, no, and habang tumatagal sana, no, from 1, we progress. We go to 4, we go to 5, kung sakali man na something will happen, no, malaking dagok ulit sa family natin, like perhaps, wag naman sana, another typhoon or another, natural disaster. Pero again, wag naman sana. And then, yung coping natin bababa ulit. But you remember that we can always, always, always do something for our families para tumaas ulit, no, yung level ng coping natin. But it is really important that we as family copes, no, together, um, in this pandemic. All right? So, let me give a little bit of a grounding about this pandemic, no, this new normal. And alam na natin that when we say new normal, everything is normal outside, pas yung restaurants, lahat ng establishment, sobrang daming tao sa labas, okay na mag-commute, pwede na, 'di ba? But there are restrictions. This includes wearing of face masks, 'di ba? Kahit saan tayo pumunta, also when we go outside and when we return home, we have to disinfect ourselves. Basta mga commercial, gano'n na rin yung tema na, bawal muna lumapit, 'di ba? Kasi may germs or may virus yung katawan, kaya kailangan mo ng maglinis ng sarili bago makipag-interact sa family members balik sa bahay. Physical distancing is the more appropriate word. So physical distancing means, maintaining that at least 1 meter distance. At kahit saan tayo pumunta, 'di ba? Kung dati sa MRT or LRT or sa buses sobrang siksikan, ngayon hindi na gano'n yung scenario. 'Di ba? I don't think if that's better for you. Perhaps for most it's better, pero it has no negative effects in terms of our mental health. And Filipinos as we are, 'di ba, we're very touchy, we're very friendly, magaling tayo makisama, and our pakikisama is shown by, greeting people outside when we meet them. But now, cannot instantly do that, no? Kahit yung simpleng handshake ay as much as possible we avoid. 'Di ba? May bago na yung sa siko lang or yung yung fist bump lang, pero fist bump is not also okay. Pero we avoid, no, contact, physical contact with other people. And Catholics as we are, or Christians, or Muslims, or brothers and sisters from other religion, 'di ba? Um, especially if we have children at home, we can only practice our faith online, um, through watching, 'di ba, yung live streaming ng mga misa. And if we intend to, or if we opt to attend to a masses sa loob ng simbahan, then we still need to abide by the health protocols. And with parties or celebrations, hindi na katulad ng dati na we can go anywhere, 'di ba? We can travel anywhere instantly, 'di ba? And celebrate there. Hindi na siya gano'n kadali. And if we will celebrate, no, we reserve the celebration sa family members lang natin or immediate family members. If we'll invite people or friends, kailangan limited pa rin. So, meron pa rin restrictions. In education and as parents, if we are in the work from home setup, 'di ba? Kailangan nating mag-adjust din ng working environment, no? I understand as a parent na it has been a challenge for us to work sa loob ng bahay, 'di ba? And maintain that time for work while our children are also there with us at home, or while at the same time we need to attend to their academic needs, 'di ba? Since they are in remote learning, no, they are learning away or remotely from school. Then as parents, tayong may responsibility to facilitate their learning. And so it has been an additional challenge for us to adjust our own work from home setup, adjust from our from our work from home setup, and at the same time help our children adjust naman sa study from home setup. All right? And so it's really important um to it's really important to um strengthen our coping mechanisms. So mas lalo tayo magsa-survive no during this period of the pandemic. Okay? And yes, for families naman, iba na rin, no? New normal na rin sa families. Iba na yung routine. Before, um, we need to wake up early together, prepare for breakfast, and then we join our children in having the breakfast. Tapos, hatid natin sila going to school. And then, they stay in school. Nandun lang sila sa school. Tapos, we wait for them to go home. Or tayo rin, no, as parents, we go to work, and then there's a certain time na lahat tayo ulit nasa bahay. Perhaps baka dinner time na yon, then our children will do their homework while we do household chores as parents, etc., etc. That can be our usual routine. But right now, iba na kasi lahat naman ng ginagawa natin nasa sa bahay na lang, especially um if we're working from home or kung nagte-travel pa rin tayo, no, going to work. Yung ibang magulang, they opted to um, stay muna dun sa workplace nila, hindi umuwi araw-araw, umuwi lang during weekends, no, para hindi hassle sa biyahe, no. Yung ibang magulang naman, yes, they, anong tawag dito, they travel every day um, to work and going home. Pero baka iba na rin yung routine, no? Iba na rin yung way sa pag-commute, mas maagang pumapasok kasi mas mahirap humanap ng mode of transportation, etc., etc. So, for parents na nasa work from home setup, katulad ko, no, then mas maraming time para makipag-bonding sa daughter ko, no, kahit na sabihin natin 8 to 5, I have to study, no, I'm studying right now, don't have work. So kahit na sabihin natin 8 to 5, I have to study, or sige, mag-aaral na lang ako later after I attend to all my daughter's needs. So that is from 6 p.m. onward. So I can spend most of my time for my daughter. All right, so that can be our new normal setup. But for some families, no, the feedback is that during this period of the pandemic, mas marami yung oras para sa isa't isa. And for me, that is something positive, especially for our children. But my question would be, have you talked to your child about COVID-19? Kinausap niyo na ba or napag-uusapan na ba, no, sa loob ng bahay yung COVID-19? You know, my daughter is just 3 years old. Sabi ko sa inyo, bago pa lang ako sa pagmamagulang, no. Sinabi ni Sir Nads kanina na Adi. Adi is the name of my daughter. And she's just 3 years old. But I already talked to her about COVID-19, and she knows the name of the virus, and she definitely knows that she cannot go outside, and when she does, she has to wear her face mask. So, ganon, she knows about this pandemic and why we cannot, or specifically her, why she cannot go outside. And so if you have not talked to your children yet, or napapadaan lang, no, di naman yung talagang conversation, or our children start to open up, 'di ba? Our children start to open up, pero we do not know how to talk to them as well. Then we can start the conversation. No, it's not too late. Kahit 7 months na tayo, 'di ba, na or 8 months na tayo na community quarantine, still not too late to talk with our children, start the conversation, but definitely we need to find the right time to talk. All right? And when I say the right time, hindi yung sobrang random lang na, all right, let's have this family meeting and let's talk about COVID-19. Okay? So, let's still be casual, and perhaps we can maximize meal time, no, habang kumakain, to discuss about what we know or what our children already knows about the virus, definitely they know. Definitely ang dami na nilang nabasa. Definitely ang dami na nilang information na nalaman from their friends, from their teachers, diba? And so we need to find out what they know and just to follow whatever knowledge they have. Be ready, of course, to listen and answer their questions about the pandemic with facts. And what we wanted to address talaga is that if they have misconceptions about the pandemic, kasi for example, baka naman kaya sobrang taas ng anxiety nila kapag pumapasok tayo sa work, no? Palagi nila tayong sinasabihan na, "Huwag ka nang pumasok sa trabaho, hindi ba puwedeng work from home 'yan," et cetera, because they have that intense fear of you, no, of us parents acquiring the virus, 'di ba? Well, in fact, we can actually educate them that we cannot instantly acquire the virus, especially if we are practicing, the health protocol or maintaining that physical distance, naka-face mask, naka-face shield. So anak, wag kang mag-alala kasi pag nasa trabaho naman ako, I'm really not establishing physical contact. I make sure that I disinfect, 'di ba? Every time na bago ako kumain, after ko kumain, and every minute, nag-aalcohol ako to make sure na I'm safe. So perhaps this knowledge is needed by our children for them to understand na we are safe. Okay, even when I go out, regularly going to work, we are safe in this household. All right, so also include the following points. Define what COVID-19 is, that this is a new strand of virus, and at the moment, um, dinidiscover pa lang kung ano yung vaccine, blah, blah, blah. How it spreads, what is being done by the government, no, to safeguard public health during this period of the pandemic, and how we as a family and them as our children can be safe too. Okay, so how about supporting our child during COVID-19? um, how do we help specifically our children cope with this pandemic, right? So before we discuss how we can help them, let's first discuss how are they affected by this pandemic. And I'm um, getting this information from the webinar of Doc Angie when she presented in PAP, Psychological Association of the Philippines, about the COVID-19, about the behavioral manifestations of children during COVID-19. And so she said there that our children became less physically active. Lumalabas pa ba yan ng bahay? Siyempre hindi kasi bawal sila, they're minors, 'di ba? But do they still, exercise? Kung dati during their anong tawag dito, during their face-to-face classes, they travel from home to school. Sometimes baka naglalakad sila, so that is a form of physical exercise. When they go from one classroom to another, at least they have, a couple of seconds or minutes to walk. Pero ngayon, lahat ng subjects nila online, so buong oras nila sa pag-aaral nakaupo. Diba? So definitely, our children became less physically active. And since online learning tayo or blended, no, much longer screen time. Diba? Kung dati sa loob ng classroom, as much as possible, bawal yung cellphone. But now, we need to maximize the use of our gadgets for learning. At mas humaba yung screen time natin kasi ano bang ginagawa nila after mag-aaral? Nagsi-cellphone pa rin ba? Nanonood ng TV, which is still, a screen? Irregular sleep pattern. I don't know if napansin ninyo ito sa mga anak ninyo, how long have they been sleeping, or anong oras sila natutulog at anong oras sila naggising, 'di ba? When they prepare to school before, kailangan talaga maaga silang gumising dahil maliligo pa sila, kakain pa sila ng breakfast, 'di ba? But now, they can go to school or they can attend their online classes kahit di pa sila naliligo, 'di ba? Or kahit hindi pa sila kumakain, doon na lang sila kakain during their class. So they do not really need to wake up that early. right? So naiba rin yung sleeping patterns. Less favorable diet for children in families na naapektuhan ng pandemic economically, no? Like nawalan ng trabaho yung mga magulang, so they cannot afford as much food as they want on their table, or doon naman sa mga well-off na family or afford na mag-take out, food panda, grab food almost every day. Okay? And little or no interaction with peers. And if they will have time to interact with their friends, online pa rin yun, no? Not the real time, no? Interaction. So, virtual interaction pa rin in cyberspace. All right? So, particularly for, ano yung tawag dito? For younger children, no? Preschool and elementary age children, we may tell that they are affected by the pandemic when they manifest the following um, behaviors na hindi naman nila minanifest before this pandemic. Okay, so mas madalas yung temper tantrum, mas mabilis na umiiyak, mas sobrang clingy, no? Yung play nila paulit-ulit, paulit-ulit, no? And what I can see with Addie that sometimes when she plays, for example, yung play niya, no, ay galing siya sa grocery. Play is a very good way to understand children and to understand what is there in their heads. No? So that's why we have play therapy. And with Adi, napansin ko sa kanya na sometimes meron tema yung play niya na galing siya sa grocery and then salubungin siya ng toys niya um, dahil galing siya sa grocery pero yung toys niya bawal hawakan agad yung mga pinamili niya kasi kailangan niya pa yun i-disinfect. I observed her play like that one time and I understand that that is a scenario here at home. Kasi dati kapag galing ako sa grocery, pwede niya na yun kunin agad, no? Tas halongkatin niya na yan. Alin kaya dyan yung para sa kanya, 'di ba? But ngayon, bawal siya kahit hawakan niya, no? Lapitan niya, bawal din talaga. Kasi we need to disinfect yung mga pinamili. So, ganun na rin yung tema ng laro niya. And so, I have to. And so, with that, I understand that she knows what's happening. She understands what's happening. And perhaps she's affected by what's happening. Okay? And there are times also na she will um, go outside. She wanted to go outside. And then, I will wow, sinasabon daw nila sir 'no. Kami, depende sa kung ano yon 'no. If puwedeng sabunin, yes, sinasabon. Pero gano'n siya katagal, 'di ba? Di katulad before na, sige puwede mo na 'yan kunin agad, kung gusto mo na 'yan kainin agad, go ahead, 'di ba? But now, there are restrictions for our children as well, 'di ba? Um, Difficulty staying still 'no, for other children, they become more aggressive, 'no? Mas lagi nilang inaaway yung kapatid nila, nasasaktan or defiant, di sila masyadong sumusunod, 'no? May pagkamatigas yung ulo, 'no? Stomach ache, headache, which is a typical sign of anxiety, withdrawal from others, cry easily, difficulty concentrating, and the anger. For teenagers naman, no, we can say that they are being affected by the pandemic if they manifested the following behaviors, which, again, hindi naman nila manifest before this period. No? So, there is anger, there is frustration, kasi hindi nila magawa yung dati nilang nagagawa, especially when they love bonding with friends, hanging out with friends outside, diba? So, nandun talaga yung frustration. Sadness, typically they will opt to stay inside their rooms rather than um rather than spending time with us. 'Di ba? Worry, feelings of anxiety, reduced energy level, no? Parang mapapansin natin palagi silang tinatamad, inaantok, 'di ba? Stomach ache and headache again are typical signs of anxiety. Difficulty concentrating, nahirapan silang tapusin yung homework nila, no? Kahit wala naman masyadong distractions, pero nahirapan silang mag-concentrate, mag-focus dun sa task na ginagawa nila, and changes in sleeping and eating patterns. All right? And we have to be very observant and particular of the following behavioral manifestations of children. Katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, mas kilala natin yung mga anak natin, 'di ba? So kahit na anong sabihin ko sa inyo dito, you know your children better. And as parents, no, parang it's an instinct sa atin kapag merong specific na behavior tayong napansin. 'Di ba? So parang alam natin agad when there is something wrong. And we have to be very particular with that, no? As parents, it's easy for us to, to deny na, ay hindi, wala lang yan. Sige, okay lang yan. Kaya niya yan, di ba? Kasi tumagal ng tumagal ng tumagal ng tumagal at lumala. Di ba? And as parents, I understand also na it's really, really difficult for us to accept, especially if the concern is on mental health. Diba? Hindi natin yan madaling tanggapin. Hindi natin yan madaling intindihin. May mga estudyante ako na they will open up to their parents about the sadness they feel. And then their parents will invalidate their feelings. Sasabihin ng mga magulang na, ang hina-hina mo naman, or wala yan anak, nasa isip mo lang yan. No? It's easy for us parents to invalidate these things. Pero my question would be, paano pag lumapit sa atin yung anak natin, tapos mainit siya, nilalagnat siya, tapos sinispon siya? Invalidate ba natin yun? Sasabihin ba natin na, ay naku anak, wala yan, nasa isip mo lang yan. Di ba hindi naman? And so I hope that as much as we care for the physical well-being of our children, let us also care for the emotional well-being of our children. Okay? So, teka lang, I received this one question in chat. And I wanted to answer that. Yung pamangkin ko po ay masyadong irritated lately. Perhaps, yes, tama po yun, Sir Nads, no, perhaps due to the pressure na nararamdaman sa online class. And I've heard of parents claiming na parang gusto na nilang parang payag sila na patigilin muna yung mga anak nila sa pag-aaral kasi nahihirapan na sila, no? I gave webinars like this for parents, and the parents will open up na sobrang nahihirapan yung mga anak nila during this online classes, no? Napapansin nga nila yan yung pressure, yung pagiging magagalitin, no? Yung feelings of anxiety. Kaya kapag nakita nilang gano'n, nahihirapan na, parang dapat po ba patigilin ko na muna yung anak ko sa pag-aaral, no? And that is another story, all right? Allowing our children to stop at the moment sa pag-aaral is a tough decision to make. And so kapag napapatanong ka na, no, bilang magulang, pag napapatanong ka na gano'n, dapat mapatigilin ko na muna siya sa pag-aaral para hindi siya mahirapan psychologically. Then before deciding, I hope that you talk it out first with your guidance counselors in your school. All right? So there, the following are the behavioral manifestations of children. And with these, we can provide physical and emotional support for our children. So, ito yung mga nararanasan nila. Ano yung pwede nating gawin bilang mga magulang? First and foremost, anong tawag dito? We play the same role as parents. So, we make sure that their basic needs are met. They have food on the table. We make sure that they sleep on time. Yung ganun pa rin, no? Ginagawa natin bilang mga magulang. We make sure that they are doing their homeworks, they are balancing their time appropriately, especially now na study from home sila and they can, do their homework anytime. Okay? So, reassure that they are safe. Okay? Na anak, oo, nasa gitna tayo ng pandemya, but as long as we stay indoors, as long as we wear our face mask, our face shields, we disinfect ourselves, we are safe. Alright? So, wag tayong matakot. Pag-usapan natin ano bang takot yung nararamdaman mo na yan, saan ba yan nanggagaling, and then reassure that as a family, every one of us, including us as parents, are safe. As much as possible also, increase physical activities inside the house. Okay? At gusto kong i-emphasize to na when we wanted our children to engage in physical activities, kailangan tayo din ang mag-umpisa ng physical activity sa loob ng bahay. And so, if we tell our children na, "Oh anak, mag-exercise ka naman or mag-stretching ka naman, ano ba yan, ang tagal-tagal mo nang nakaupo, ilang oras ka na dyan, babad ka na sa cellphone mo, mag-stretch ka nga, mag-exercise ka nga," no? Yung ibang bata siguro madaling susundin yon, pero yung iba, nakatamad or pagod ako, di ba? So, it's important na sa atin mag-umpisa yon as parents. So, tayo rin, mag-exercise physically, no? So have one time, perhaps early in the morning, 'di ba? Or middle ng morning or in the afternoon, no? Tayo buong pamilya, this is our physical and this is our time for exercise. And so as one family, mag-zumba kayo or ewan ko if you have your own gym inside your house or alam mo yon kahit na simpleng stretching lang. So we do that as a family. Okay? Aside from, yes, it will increase physical activity inside our house or inside our homes, at least, diba, meron din tayong bonding time. Also maintain and establish new routines. New normal new routines as well, diba? Kung dati, lahat tayo, magulang, no, lahat ng household chores kailangan natin gawin. Kasi we are thinking that ito naman talaga yung role natin as parents. But remember that as parents, we're also working, especially kung work from home setup nga, di ba? So nagtatrabaho rin tayo, and at times that we're working, we need our children to understand that they need to respect our workspace and our time for work, and then share natin yung responsibilities at home with them. Okay? And it's really important to lead by example. Okay, we wanted them to have their new routine, pero tayo pangit din yung routine natin. Di ba? We wanted them to exercise, pero tayo hindi man tayo nag-exercise. So as parents, it's really important to lead by example and remember these words from Robert Fulghum. Don't worry that children never listen to you. Worry that they are always watching you. Okay, and our behaviors speak a lot. No, at mas ginagaya ng mga anak natin yung ginagawa natin. Alright? Instead of, puro salita, puro salita, puro salita, pero hindi naman natin ginagawa kung ano yung sinasabi natin. So it's really important that we model the correct behavior. Build more connections, spend time together, connect with other family members online as well. Connect with a larger community, the church, diba? The school, meron tayong mga online spiritual sessions, diba? It's really important to connect with the school pa rin. Hayaan pa rin natin sila mag-participate sa co-curricular activities online. Have one-on-one time with our children. Okay? And also respect their me time. Okay? We respect their own space. No, we let them do what they wanted to do during a comfortable time for them. Okay? So also we can strengthen our coping strategies, and here we go to mindfulness. All right, we can practice mindfulness exercises at home. We do relaxation and breathing exercises. We teach healthy expression of emotions, no, particularly to younger children. No, it's really important kasi our children do not have words to describe how they feel. And so, nagmamanifest yun sa behavior nila. Halimbawa, mga anak natin, they cannot verbalize that they are angry. And so, it will manifest na lang na bigla na lang nagbato ng gamit, which is actually not a healthy expression of their emotions. Diba? And we wanted them to speak to us whenever they're angry. No? And this is something na tinrain ko talaga yung daughter ko to do. Diba? Kapag galit siya, kasi maikli lang din talaga yung pasensya niya. Siyempre, bata pa naman siya. Kapag galit siya, talagang mag-walk out siya, magbabato siya ng gamit. Diba? Right now, she's really, 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 really improving. When she's angry, gaganyan yung kilay niya. And then she will tell me that she's angry. And then I will ask her, why is she angry? And then she is able to describe why. She will she's able to answer kung bakit siya nagalit. And that is one way of making her understand that it's normal to be angry, and there are things that can make her angry, and she can express that that feelings of anger by talking it out with me and finding a solution how to deal with that anger instead na magbato siya ng gamit. Yes, Sir Nads, it's really important to start early. Okay? And mas matrain natin sila ng mas maaga. Syempre, mas madali, di ba? But it's never too late naman if we wanted to establish these with our children kahit teenagers na. Okay? Kesa naman hindi talaga at all. Okay? And engage them with positive activities. Di ba? So, ano ba yung positive activities during this period? Donation drives, diba? Perhaps online selling, kung go-online sell tayo, it's our business, then engage them with things that we do. Diba? If it's something positive anyway. Ano pa ba? Donation drives and physical activities as well, diba? Bonding with their relatives who are away, engaging to the community such as yung church. All right. So now let's talk about mindfulness. And the typical definition of mindfulness is it means paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. All right. So yes, Sir Russell, train up a child in the way that, wait, di ko memorize yung verse na yon. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. So yes, thank you po. So there, this is mindfulness. No? So let me discuss deeper or in detail this definition later on. But let us acknowledge that this pandemic has brought us several negative feelings. It brought us feelings of fear, anxiety, and then yun yung pag-aalala mo nga na baka pag lumabas ka sa bahay, mahawahan ka ng ng COVID positive, nandun yung stress because all of a sudden you have to adjust to these many things. We are angry more often than before. We're feeling sad because we're literally isolating ourselves from other people. And boredom kasi paulit-ulit lang yung routine. Nag-aral ka, nandito ka pa rin sa loob ng bahay. Kumain ka, nandito pa rin sa loob. Ano ba? Physical activities ka, nandito pa rin sa loob ng bahay. Diba? So for others, it may bring feelings of boredom talaga. And how do we typically react to these feelings? Kapag nandun sa'yo yung takot, ano yung typical na reaction mo? Magtago? Huwag lumabas ng bahay? Kapag nandun yung anxiety, anong nararamdaman mo sa katawan mo? Nahihirapan huminga? Nagpapawis? Hindi makatulog? Kapag stress, anong typical reaction mo? Ibaling yung galit sa anak? Magdabog? Hindi kumain? Diba? Yung pagiging irritable? Magagalitin? Diba? Pag malungkot ka, anong typical reaction mo? Umiyak? Huwag makipag-usap? Okay? Kumain? Diba? Alright. So, thank you, Sir Nads, for your responses. So, remember that when there is a stimulus, there is a situation, there is always a response. May that be an emotional response or a behavioral response. So, when we're stressed, specifically, we have this automatic response. Diba? Automatic response. So, we fight or we flight, we freeze or we faint. So, when we're stressed and then we fight, it means that we always wanted to do something to get rid of this stress. Whatever that will be. Whatever will cause us. Kailangan mawala tong stress na to, nakakabwisit kasi. Alright? So, sometimes when we fight, dahil gusto nating matanggal yung stress or maresolbahan agad yung problema na yon, mas lalo tayong nagiging magagalitin. Diba? Or perhaps we flight when we're stressed. We flight like, tawag dito muna ako, aalis muna ako or hindi muna ako papasok ng trabaho ngayon or wala muna akong gagawin ngayong araw. We avoid these stressful situations. Or perhaps we freeze. No? Sometimes, kapag sobrang stressed ka na, wala na, nakatulala ka na lang na ganyan. Tapos, okay, wala. Well, nag-freeze eh, di ba? Parang, di mo alam kung anong gagawin. Nakatulala ka lang, nakabukas lahat ng emails mo. So, okay, parang hindi mo napansin, more than 15 minutes ka na palang nakatulala lang or nothing's really happening or you faint. So for others, pwedeng literally na faint, nahimatay talaga, nag-pass out talaga. Yung iba talaga sobrang stress, sobrang pagod, they really pass out. Or pwede din naman na alam mo yun, yung tulog ka ng tulog, no? Parang pahinga lang lahat. Alright? Ganyan. So these are the typical no automatic response that we have. And these responses actually are normal. All right, because our brains are designed to respond to whatever situation that we have, and that it includes stress. Okay, so our minds are designed to survive yung mga stress. So kung halimbawa, stress na stress ka na, tapos bigla ka nag-pass out, nakatulog ka, hindi mo namamalayan, then that is because the feelings of stress is starting to, you know, get over you. Apektuhan ka na talaga ng mas malalim. And yung katawan mo, nag-shutdown na lang siya. Nagpahinga na lang siya because that's a way for you to survive that day, that situation. Okay? So our brains are designed to survive, no? Talagang our brains are designed for survival, and we know that, no? During the early period of our ancestors, talagang we are designed to survive. All right? And let us also acknowledge that our mind thinks naturally and operates automatically. So our minds think as typical or as naturally as our heart beats, no? Kung tumitibok automatically yung puso natin kahit hindi natin diktahan, yung isip natin ay mag-iisip yan naturally kahit hindi natin gusto yung bagay na iniisip niya. Okay? Or hindi natin naman ito yung piniling isipin. Okay? And also our minds operate automatically. Like for example, I've been talking here and then all of a sudden you find yourself anong tawag dito, checking your phone. Kahit na the behavior is not deliberate. Hindi, wala ka naman dinikta sa sarili mo na I will check my phone kasi sinabi mo in the first place ganyan mag-focus ako ngayon. Pero you just found yourself, checking your phone. Kahit na okay, hindi ko naman to deliberately inisip. It was just like automatic. Okay? Because certain habits are ingrained sa isip natin. At yeah, our minds really operate automatically. Also, our mind seems to have a mind of its own. Alam mo yon, ito yung yung argument ng mga estudyante ko na parang hindi na nila nakokontrol kung ano yung laman ng isip nila. 'Di ba? Na ikaw, halimbawa tayo, gusto natin mag-focus dito sa isang bagay. Mag-respond muna sa emails natin. For 15 minutes, ito lang yung gagawin natin, mag-respond sa email natin. And then all of a sudden, we find ourselves na nag-check na ng Facebook, 'di ba? Or biglang, oh, ching, may naisip na ibang bagay tas umalis. Pero alam mo 'yon, we told ourselves to focus on this thing. Pero nahihirapan na tayo kasi okay, parang our mind have a mind of its own. Okay? And our mind is wired to yes, flight of ideas. Our mind is wired to do something in response to stress. All right, whether we stress eating, 'di ba? Whether we sleep for a long period, no, tulog ng tulog, whether we express that stress through anger. Our mind is wired to do something in response to stress. And so, when we're stressed, yes, we have these automatic responses. We can fight, flight, freeze, or anong tawag dito, faint. But let us also acknowledge that instead of resorting to these automatic responses, we can train our minds to deal appropriately, more appropriately to stress through mindfulness. Okay? Na kesa, okay, bigla na lang ako mag-burst out sa anger dahil sobrang stress ko. We can train our mind to be particularly aware of this level of stress, and that we know that when we're stressed, we instantly become angry. And with that awareness, no, we can choose how to respond more appropriately to this stress. Okay? So again, mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally. So paying attention means being aware of what you feel, being aware of, okay, I'm getting angry right now kasi um, anong tawag dito? Kasi kumukunot na naman yung kilay ko. Becoming aware of something, paying attention in a particular way, which is on purpose, ibig sabihin, it is a deliberate action. All right? And at the present moment, what is happening right now? So for example, right now, um, I'm feeling a little bit cold. Ang laksan ko kasing aircon kanina. So I'm feeling a little bit cold. Or what else? Right now, I'm feeling, ano ba? A little bit hungry. So whatever is happening to you at the moment, non-judgmentally, ibig sabihin, you do not tell yourself na, teka, nagagalit na naman ako. Naku, malito. Hindi dapat ganito ako nag-react. Okay? So, non-judgmentally meaning just letting it there. Okay? If it's anger that you notice, then do not judge yourself against that feeling. Alright? So, that is what mindfulness means. So, the advantages of practicing mindfulness exercises is that it can help us improve our performance. Because sinabi ko nga sa inyo na yes, our minds seem to have a mind of its own. But when we practice mindfulness, we're able to focus more on the things that we do, which definitely will improve our performance. Hindi ka sabog, hindi ka lutang, okay? Natatapos mo yung isang task because you're able to better focus on it. All right? And yeah, you can make yourself feel more relaxed at times that you need to relax. Also, healthier response to a situation. 'Di ba? Instead na bigla ka nagalit sa anak mo, sobrang stress mo, at least you're acknowledging na, and you're being mindful, you're particularly aware because you did it on purpose. No, you are particularly aware that, okay, this is stress. And after this, or whenever I'm stressed, I'm feeling angry. And so when I'm angry, I throw out things or binabaling ko yun sa anak ko. And so with that certain level of awareness, we're also on purpose, no, wanting to improve that response into a healthier manner. Definitely, mindfulness can help us decrease stress and it helps us reduce anxiety as well. All right? So, what are the things that we need to pay attention to? So, we need to be very particular of the level of stress. Okay? Kung gano'n na ba kabigat itong stress na to. So, katulad kanina, 'di ba, dun sa pictures or sa images na pinakita ko sa inyo. Kung mabilis yung paggalaw ng ng pictures, stress level 5 na ba yan? Bawa 5 yung highest? Or okay, 4 lang to. Or okay, yung stress na nararamdaman ko ngayon, this is still something manageable for me. So I can still continue working even when I have this level of stress. Alright. So body signal, okay, palagi ko naririnig sa mga professors ko, especially when we discuss mindfulness, is for us to listen to our bodies. Okay? Kapag masakit na yung, usually when we're stressed, and usually when I am stressed, sumasakit yung dito ko sa likod, dito sa may batok, pababa hanggang balikat, particularly sa likod. Okay? We may not recognize that it's really stressed, but hello, sinasabi na ng katawan natin na, teka lang, masakit na yung likod mo, hello, 'di ba? Parang, ang tagal mo na siguro nakaupo kaya sumasakit yung likod mo. Kaya bad na babad ka na diyan sa trabaho kaya sumasakit yung likod mo. And so it's really important to listen to our bodies. Also the habits of the mind. Okay, how do we make decisions specifically when we're stressed? 'Di ba? What do we do? What's that particular habit? 'Di ba? Like for example, um mm, when you're feeling stressed, no, your typical habit is to eat. 'Di ba? Kahit unhealthy food, but yeah, to eat. That's your typical habit. Or when you're feeling sad, 'di ba? Do you have the tendency to overthink? To ruminate, yung paulit-ulit yung negative thoughts sa head mo. 'Di ba? Or kapag meron kang nagawang mali sa trabaho, for example, do you have that habit of the mind to think of it the entire day? Hindi ka maka-move on, ganyan. 'Di ba? So be very particular or pay attention to the habits of your mind. Again, no, pay attention non-judgmentally. So kung meron kang tendency to ruminate or to let that negative thought stay inside your head for a long period of time, okay, then you have that certain awareness. And that is something that you need to address. So do not judge yourself against it. Or emotions, 'di ba? Be particularly aware of yourself when you're sad, 'di ba? Be particularly aware of um your feelings of anxiety, fear, ganyan, and your impulses, 'di ba? Your tendency to ano ba, to shop online, yung hindi mo pinag-isipan, okay, bigla ka nag-add to cart tas nag-check out. Okay, so be very particular with these impulses as well. So again, pay attention but non-judgmentally. All right? It's really more important. That's why it's mindfulness. And when we say be mindful, 'di ba? It means that you have to pay particular attention. All right? So let us practice, no? This one, sobrang simple na anong tawag dito? Mindfulness exercise. So, all right. I hope you're sitting comfortably. Kung nasan man kayo today. All right. And this is called 5-4-3-2-1 coping technique or 5-4-3-2-1 mindfulness sensory technique, etc., etc. So madaming versions nito online, but it will definitely tell us the same thing. One is to sit comfortably wherever you are right now. And then we utilize our senses, no? To pay attention to the many things that are um happening right now. Okay? So one or first is to look around you and acknowledge 5 things that you can see around. Okay? So use your eyes to see 5 things around you. So pangalanan mo yan inside your head. Alright? So 5. So mine will be my laptop. I have a glue here in front of me. A speaker. An air humidifier. And an alcohol. Okay. Next is to use the sense of touch. Okay? So acknowledge 4 things that you can touch around you. specifically finding out if it's soft or hard, smooth or rough. So, whatever it is, just touch four things around you. All right, so here I touched my desk, the folder at the top of my desk, um, yung tablet case, tsaka yung mobile phone. So, lahat sila smooth and hard. Next is acknowledge three things that you can hear around you. Okay, so there. So right now for me, I heard someone walking outside the room. I can hear the air condition, yung AC, naririnig ko siya tumutunog, medyo maingay. And I can hear my husband typing sa keyboard niya. My husband is here with me working there. And next is to acknowledge two things that you can smell around you. Okay, so yeah. For me, I can smell the air here inside. Medyo yung scent ng oil, hindi naman pala. Wala na masyadong scent yung oil sa humidifier. But yeah, that is something I can smell. And naglagay ako ng alcohol. Sobrang parang perfume yung alcohol na to. So I can smell it and it smells good. And lastly is acknowledge one thing that you can taste around you. So one thing that you can taste around you. All right. So perhaps you have there your coffee or your juice with you, or kanina uminom ka kasi ng kape and you can still taste it sa mouth mo. Mine is nalalasahan ko pa yung gamot na ininom ko kanina. Parang feeling ko nandito pa siya sa throat ko. So yeah, that is something that I am acknowledging. Alright? So actually doing this activity on a daily basis will help you train your mind to be particularly aware of the present moment that you have. Okay? And when you do it, again, no, you are doing it on purpose. You're doing it deliberately. And you're doing it non-judgmentally. Wala namang kahit na anong ginawa, di ba? Just put your attention to these things. All right? And let me give you these another grounding exercise using our five senses, which we can also help or we can also teach our children. So first is to take deep breaths. No, when we can do this with our children, no, we can help them manage their emotions well using this technique actually. Okay. So just ask them to breathe in and breathe out. And then just noticing the air which comes inside and outside your nose. So acknowledging or paying attention to the air that you breathe as you inhale and you exhale. And then touch the tip of your thumb and think of something that you love to see. Yung pinaka gusto mong nakikita. There. So for me, it's my daughter. Siya yung unang pumasok sa isip ko. And then, slide your finger to the tip of your index finger, hintuturo, and think of something that you love to touch. Okay? And then that something is, anong tawag dito? Pasok sa isip ko, pillow. Pillow. Then slide your finger down and up to the tip of your middle finger and think of a sound that you love to hear. Okay, mine, of course, yung tawa ng daughter ko. And then slide the tip of your ring finger and think of something you love to smell. Okay. So, ang pumasok sa isip ko yung sabon. Alright. And then, slide to the tip of your pinky finger up and think of something you love to taste. Okay. So, mine, chocolates. And then, finish by tracing your hand, by tracing over your hand again, and say or think, I am calm, I am safe, and I am present. So again, say or think, I am calm, I am safe, I am present. All right, so that is a very simple mindfulness exercise, but we can teach that exercise to our children, particularly for them, na makatulong na pakalmahin ang sarili nila at times that they really needed to calm down or to feel safe or to feel okay. All right, I remember one movie. No, well, it's a horror movie kasi mahilig ako manood ng movie. And then the mother there asked the child, "What do we do um when we are scared?" Parang ganyan. Then we count to 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ganun lang siya. So here, we can help them be particularly aware, stay at the moment, and towards the end, remind themselves that they are in charge, they are calm, they are safe, and they are in the present. Okay? So, how was that exercise for you? Was it challenging? No, was it easy? Dali lang ba, no? Na gawin yung exercise na yon? So for me personally at first, no, when we're learning about mindfulness, hindi siya talaga ganun kadali because it was hard for me to focus on one thing. 'Di ba? Yung ako nag-iisip ako ng ganyan, bawa think of something that you love to see. Pero iba yung iniisip ko na sa trabaho, parang mga ganyang eksena, no? So sometimes, no, or at first, it was really challenging for me. Pero after, several practice, 'di ba, doing it for a couple of months now or doing it regularly, no. So mas nagiging madali para sa akin yung exercise. And is it something that you can integrate in your daily activities? 'Di ba? How about when you are working and then every 5 minutes you just do that five senses exercise, 'di ba? Notice um five something that you can see, four things that you can touch, 'di ba? So how about integrating that to your daily activities or doing that with your children? Diba? And how is that different? No? When you deal with stress, how can you use that and deal differently with your feelings of stress? So halimbawa, you notice that you're feeling stressed. Instead of resorting to that automatic response, how about doing that finger activity? Okay? And how about letting our children do that as well para hindi rin sila, I mean, magdadabog, magwo-walk out, ano pa ba, hindi lalabas ng kwarto, etc., etc. But letting them know that they are in control of their minds and of their feelings, and that they are calm, they are safe, and they are living there in the present. So what happens to our brain, no, when we do mindfulness? And this is how I explain it to children also, no. For children, it's really, really hard to teach mindfulness. Well, this is for me, but for others who do mindfulness talaga, they love doing this with children. I did this once, no, with children, parang grade 5 to grade 6. And this is how I explained mindfulness to them. So we have our amygdala. This is our jumpy superhero. Okay, so our amygdala would try to protect us at all costs. But since it is the seat of our emotions um ay nandoon sa amygdala natin, no. So it often mistakes stress for real threats and stops the prefrontal cortex from thinking or making good choices. And so it's like when we are overwhelmed with our emotions, our amygdala would like to protect us by shouting, by shivering, by sweating, by what else? By eating, by sleeping, etc., etc. So our amygdala would like to protect us from that danger, from that stressful situation, so that it prevents our prefrontal cortex from thinking. Okay? When the amygdala is calm, kapag kalmado tong amygdala, hindi siya nagpadala sa stress, then the prefrontal cortex will do what it has to do, which is to figure things out. Our prefrontal cortex is the smart one. It helps us figure out stuff and helps us make good, well-balanced choices. And so again, 'di ba kapag ang isang tao ay galit, instantly magbabato siya ng gamit because that's the amygdala operating. Okay? Kaya hindi ka agad makakapag-isip ng sitwasyon, kaya later on mo lang na ma-realize na, oh my God, nasaktan ko pala yung anak ko or napalo ko siya kaagad kasi galit ako. Kasi hindi nag-operate yung prefrontal cortex kasi nauna na yung amygdala. Alright? So yeah, that's our amygdala. And so our prefrontal cortex is the one which thinks. Okay? And when the amygdala is upset, kapag ito talaga yung nag-overwhelm sa atin, yung amygdala, the PFC will just shut down. It cannot help us anymore. Alright? And we also have our hippocampus somewhere there in the midbrain. It stores and recalls memories. And also, when the amygdala is upset, our hippocampus cannot store memories of properly bring them to the mind. So when our amygdala is upset, we're not thinking very well. And the hippocampus cannot store properly. And so, 'di ba ang automatic reaction natin, kasi nag-shutdown na yung prefrontal cortex. So when we're angry, our immediate reaction would be, anong tawag dito, to hurt our children. For example, no, masaktan siya. Kapag nagalit tayo, biglang mapapalo natin sila because that's our amygdala na nag-operate. Kasi upset eh. Alright? And so, hindi nag-function yung prefrontal cortex. And her hippocampus, which contains memories of what to do, what not to do, etc., etc., did not work properly. And so, hindi rin na-store sa isip natin kasi hindi siya nag-isip. yung prefrontal cortex hindi gumana. So, hindi rin na-store sa isip natin na, okay, kapag galit ka, pwede ka naman munang magpalamig at hindi ka manakit kaagad. Hindi yun na-store sa hippocampus. Kasi nga, na-overwhelm na nung purpose ng amygdala. So, mindfulness is there to the rescue, okay? So, mindfulness can help us calm down. And this, in turn, will calm down the amygdala. Papakalmahin niya yung amygdala. Kasi there is a deliberate, tawag dito, there is a deliberate, parang, and intentional way to pay attention to something. And so you will not be overwhelmed by your amygdala. Okay, so that it allows the information to flow to the prefrontal cortex. Remember that when we do mindfulness, it comes down the amygdala para makapag-isip ka ng mas maayos. And that part of the brain helps us make good choices. Remember that when we are calm, kapag kalmado tayo, that's the time that we are more easily mindful and we can make good choices. Kaya nga 'di ba, cliche na nga yung wag kang gagawa ng desisyon kapag galit ka. Because that is often wrong. Because when you're mad and you made decision, you used your amygdala and not your prefrontal cortex. Okay? So that's how mindfulness is helpful with our brain. No? The more we practice mindfulness exercises, the more we train our amygdala to come down and to let our prefrontal cortex go dun sa way. Okay, pumasok dun sa scenario at siya yung mag-isip kung anong tamang gawin. At yun naman talaga yung gusto natin, di ba? When we are in a certain situation, we wanted to use our thinking brain. Diba? So, that's the purpose of mindfulness. Also, another mindfulness activity is mindful posture. Hindi po ganyan ha, but just, paying particular awareness to your posture. No? Yung posture niyo po na ganyan, kung medyo slouchy or something else, perhaps, tagal ko na kasi nagsasalita or baka medyo bored na po kayo, ganyan. No? So, just be particularly aware of your posture. So, your spine erect, perpendicular to the ground, your head level slightly down, muscle relaxed, entire body still, your eyes closed or gently open. Later, we'll do another exercise, which may somehow require you to close your eyes. And so, just paying attention with your posture, or alam niyo yung simpleng pag-change nga lang ng posture kapag nakaupo tayo or kapag nagtatrabaho tayo, can really help us reduce negative mood, also help us maintain our self-esteem and increase positive mood. All right? And also, sitting upright might be simple, but it is a behavioral strategy. No, it can help us build resilience. All right? And an advantage of mindfulness is that it encourages us to slow down, accept things as they are, because we're thinking non-judgmentally. So we are able to accept. If this is anger, okay, I accept this. If this is stress, okay, I accept this. Cope well with problems or difficulties, and simply appreciate what is in our lives right now. So this is my last mindfulness activity. So at this time, allow me to share a different screen. All right. So typically, I will just share ba? Shouldn't share. Wait, let me do that again. Dismiss. Tab. Share ka, please. Yes. All right. It's there. Okay. There. So right now, I want you to focus your attention the sound of my voice, I invite you to sit comfortably. If you're lying down, kung nakahiga kayo, okay lang. Just lay down flat on the floor or your bed. And I invite you to inhale through your nose and exhale. And as you inhale and exhale, I want you to pay your attention to the air which comes through your nose. Noticing if it is cold or warm. So again, as you inhale and exhale, I want you to pay attention to your breathing, particularly the air which enter and goes out of your nose. If it's cold or warm. And as you notice your breathing, acknowledge that it makes you feel more and more relaxed. And as you feel more and more relaxed, I invite you to close your eyes in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you close your eyes, still focus on your breathing. As you inhale and exhale, focus on the air which enters your body. And slowly, I invite you to focus your attention to the sound of the chirping birds that you can hear. Noticing the sound of the bird on purpose, non-judgmentally. And when you notice that your mind will start to wander, no? Lumipad kung saan o nag-isip ng isang bagay, ibang bagay, it's okay. Just acknowledge that thought. Ano yung isip na yon? Ano yung inisip mo na yon? And then on purpose, bring back your attention to the sound of the chirping bird. Again, when you notice that your mind starts to wander somewhere else, it's okay. Acknowledge that thought. Do not judge it. Stay with that thought for a couple of seconds and then deliberately, on purpose, bring back your attention to the sound of the chirping bird. And slowly, I invite you again to bring back your attention to your breathing. As you inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. And as you breathe, I want you to notice the air which enters your body. And paying attention to this makes you feel more and more relaxed, more and more calm. Again, as you inhale and exhale, focus your attention to the air that you breathe, which makes you feel more and more relaxed, more and more calm. And slowly invite you to open your eyes in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So, wait. How do I undo this? Oh, there. Stop presenting. All right. So, kamusta? Anong pakiramdam dun sa activity? No, ako nung una, well, to be honest din, may mindfulness activity ba na nakatulog ako? Ayun o. Sabi ni Sir Nads, baby, makatulog ako. Well, yeah, mayroong isang mindfulness activity na ginawa namin sa class. Halos makatulog kami lahat. Ako ba nag-facilitate nun? Mga hindi naman ako. Pero, halos makatulog kaming lahat. Okay? And there is another activity, mindfulness din. We did online naman with Ma'am Quina Lichua. And then she told us actually, and our classmates also who are experts sa mindfulness, no, told us that when we felt sleepy during a mindfulness exercise, then it's actually okay. No, good yun. Actually, meron ako, naalala ko pala, no, meron ako sa estudyante, nag-facilitate ako ng mindfulness sa kanya, tapos nakatulog siya talaga. Loka talaga ako, which is actually okay. Because when we are feeling sleepy daw, no, sabi ng mga classmates ko, I we are letting our defenses down. Okay, we are letting our defenses down. Ibig sabihin, um, we set aside for a while our emotions or our thoughts and focus on what is in the present, which is actually encouraging us, no, actually encouraging us, the cool breeze of December actually encourages us to feel relaxed. Okay, but my professor, who is trained for mindfulness, reminded us that while mindfulness can actually help us feel more relaxed, the purpose of mindfulness is actually not for relaxation. Okay, parang it's a secondary advantage of mindfulness. But the primary purpose of mindfulness is for us to be able to control our brains and be mindful deliberately, on purpose, non-judgmentally of the present. Okay, so again, yes, definitely, mindfulness exercises can help us feel more relaxed. And that is why doon, di ba, may command ako na this breathing makes you feel more and more relaxed. Ganyan. Kasi it really can make us feel more relaxed. Yung sound pa lang ng chirping birds, yung nature, sound ng nature, nakaka-relax na yan talaga, definitely, no? Pero, it is a secondary purpose of mindfulness. The primary purpose of mindfulness is to train our minds to focus, no, to be particularly aware of the present, non-judgmentally, and of course, definitely deliberately. Okay? So there are a lot of applications which can teach us mindfulness, no? May mga mindful apps. Type mo lang sa Google Play Store or sa Apple App Store mindfulness. And then sobrang dami mo nang mada-download. Some are for free, others are anong tawag dito? Others are paid, no, may bayad, may subscription. But sobrang dami na kahit sa ano to? Sa YouTube, no, may mga ano na doon, may mga relaxation audio guides, may mga mindfulness audio guides there. Also sa katatagan.org ng PAP, no, Psychological Association of the Philippines, katatagan.org, meron na doon mga audio guides on how to do mindfulness. So sobrang dami, no, na resources online. But the following applications can help us manage our anxiety or stress. Headspace, their break free from anxiety, worry, dulls, clear, fear, calm. Aside from they teach us mindfulness exercises, proper grounding, no, may mga um, tawag dito, portions din itong app na tinuturuan tayo na maghuhinga ng maayos, no, proper breathing para mas kumalma. Ano pa ba? Kapag nahihirapan din makatulog, ganyan, pag nawawala ng motivation. Alright? Color fee naman can establish as proper grounding. Yung simpleng pagkukulay lang, di ba? Ewan ko kung naalala ninyo, sobrang in nung mga mandalas na coloring pages, mabibili sa National Bookstore. Sobrang in nun. It helps us relax, but it gives us also a way to ground ourselves sa present. Okay, so proper grounding. So it's really important to practice mindfulness, no, not just through these applications, no, hindi lang yung mga pinakita ko kanina, sobrang dami pang grounding techniques, mindful walking, mindful eating, pero in mindful eating, it can be as simple as no gadgets during mealtime. No, I remember one of our teachers reminding us na if we wanted to practice mindfulness and live mindfully, mabuhay, no, mindfully, then we start with eating without our gadgets. Okay, so we are able to focus more on our food and with yung mga kasama natin sa dining table, 'di ba? Makapag-focus tayo with them, and kahit daw tumunog yung phone, whatever notification, no, do not answer it because it's meal time. So we really need to be mindful and train our minds to focus even better, focus even more. So it's always important that it is our mind that we can control instead of our minds being able to control us. All right? So let me leave this message from Viktor Frankl, which is an existentialist. He says that between stimulus and the response, there is always a space. And in this space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and freedom, and ultimately our happiness. Okay, so before we are able to respond to a situation, remember that there is a space there before we do something. And so in that space, no, we'll let mindfulness come in, no, and then you let your brain, yourself, choose however you wanted to respond. And when we are able to respond more appropriately to a situation because we foster that being mindful, then it will definitely bring us growth and freedom and happiness. Okay? So, sana marami po kayong natutunan. Maraming salamat po sa mga nakisabay sa mindfulness exercise, sa nakinig at nagstay sa atin all throughout this webinar. And maraming salamat din, College of St. Catherine, Quezon City, for inviting me. Thank you, Sir Nads, for having me here this morning. Also, tandaan po natin na ang mindfulness katulad ng ibang bagay na gusto natin talaga ma-integrate sa sarili natin, no? Kailangan nating gawin siyang habit. And so, after ng webinar na to, hindi porket nagawa mo na siya ng isang beses, okay na yon. You really need to practice mindfulness every day. Katulad ng classic na sinasabi na practice makes perfect. So if you really wanted to integrate mindfulness in your everyday activity, then you really need to practice the exercise regularly as well. All right? So mas regular mo siyang ginagawa, mas mapapansin mo na okay, hindi ko na kailangan na anong tawag dito, palaging kontrolin yung mind ko because it has been more automatic for you to think first before you respond. All right? So again, maraming salamat po and magandang umaga po sa lahat.
Maraming salamat, Miss Marimy. Naririnig na po ba ako?
Yes.
Very relaxing. Nagkakaroon lang po kami ng technical problem kanina sa live streaming before we start now. But I guess that's part of the new normal. I just want to share with you my takeaways for this session. Perhaps just to create a healthy, mindful habit that every Katinian or our children might also embrace should start with us or you as parents. So we also need to focus on mindfulness within the family to create a powerful, happy, and rewarding family life where relationships and kindness flourish. Okay, thank you, Miss Marimy, for your very insightful talk. At this point, may I present to you the Certificate of Appreciation. Okay. For a while. Okay. Okay. Citation reads, College of St. Catherine, Quezon City Guidance Office present this Certificate of Appreciation to Ms. Marimy Tampu Shena for sharing her expertise as a resource speaker on the topic Mindfulness for Families During the Pandemic. Given this 23rd of November 2020, Quezon City, Philippines. Signed, Mr. Julian Benedict M. Chun, our Principal, Basic Education Department, College of St. Catherine, Quezon City. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Me.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you po. po. Thank you po.
At this juncture, let's welcome our dear Basic Education Department Principal, Mr. Julian Benedict Chuen, for his closing message. A virtual clap, please.
So thank you so much, Sir Nads. To our dearest President, Dr. Arlene S. C. Maningbing, to our guidance counselors, Mr. Hines, Sir Moises, to our guest speaker for today, Ms. Shena, and to the entire College of St. Catherine community. So a pleasant morning to each and every one of us. So while it is really the focus of the school to balance the activities for the sake of our parents, and students, we're still feeling this pressure and stress. But as it is highlighted for today, being stressed doesn't mean that we are not mentally well. And so I've learned that being mentally well means pressure and stress are still there, but our mind is still in order and functioning in our best interest. That we are still able to think, feel, and act in ways that create a positive impact not only on our physical but also with our social well-being. Ano? So handling stress and overcoming it is the best thing that we can do in this time. Where everything, of course, is rapidly changing. So, Ms. Shena, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your wonderful insights and ideas. So, relaxing nung activity mo kanina. So, maybe mamaya baka maging mahimbing ang tulog ko during the break. So, i-remind na lang ako na sana magising ako on time. Ano para makapag-pursue pa ng works natin dito sa school. And also for our parents and students, so let us act with our theme as we celebrate our 28th founding anniversary for this year. So let us overcome these challenges and fight as one. So we can do this. We can survive all of these. We can surpass these difficult times as much as we have the trust and commitment as the core of our relationship. So for this time, kapag medyo mabilis na yung takbo ng mga pangyayari, let us slow down. Do not forget to relax. Do not hesitate to rest our body and ayun. So let us mind our mind. Sabi nga nila, let us mind our mind. So ayun lang for this day. So once again, thank you for this opportunity, and Ms. Shena, and thank you for the support of our guidance office for this activity. So once again, good morning, everyone.
Thank you po, Sir Chun.
Maraming salamat, Sir Chun. Again, we would like to thank everyone for joining us in today's first leg of Psychological Wellbeing webinar. We will just post the whole recording later on, no, para po makita ninyo yung the complete recording of this talk. Please note that this Wednesday, we will have another webinar session intended for our dear students. Before we end this session, don't forget to evaluate the activity by scanning the QR code later, or you may check the evaluation link posted on our comment section. Lastly, please join us in the singing of our school hymn. Muli, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. See you on Wednesday.
Thank you, Sir Nads.
Once again, allow me to share the screen.
Hail to you, our beloved Alma Mater, Saint Catherine, we will honor you forever. We pledge to you our loyalty. Together we will sing in harmony and unity. You are the fountain of our wisdom. You guide our way. You want us to be warriors, seeking you who rise up, discovering you. Hail to you, our beloved Alma Mater, Saint Catherine, we will honor you forever. We pledge to you our hearts and minds. Together we will bring our goals into reality. As we march towards the path to freedom, in making all our dreams come true. Saint Catherine, we ask for your intercession. Hail to you, our beloved Alma Mater, Saint Catherine, we will honor you forever. We pledge to you our loyalty. Together we will sing in harmony and unity. Together